Sam.
Oh, thank you. If I could ask Dr. Harries first, I just want to be really clear about what you've said. Are you saying that come Judgment Day in 2 or 3 weeks' time, if you've not seen the necessary changes that you require, the country realistically is facing lockdown for 6 months? If I could ask the Secretary of State, we've seen a number of police forces over the weekend set up hotlines where people can report concerns about their neighbours or other people they believe have flouted the rules. Would you encourage people to raise their concerns with these hotlines?
So I'll start with that one. So I think just to be clear on what I have actually said, I don't think I have said we will be in lockdown for 6 months, just to be clear. I also haven't said we'll definitely be in the best place possible in 2 or 3 weeks. The important thing is this is a moving target. If we do well, it moves forward and comes down, and we manage all our care through our health and care systems sensibly in a controlled way, and that's what we're aiming for. The issue about the 2 to 3 weeks is there is a time lag between when somebody gets the disease and becomes symptomatic and potentially transmits it, and then very sadly for those people who become ill, they will be usually are ill for a period of time and then deteriorate in their health status. And sadly, some of them will end up dying, and there are time periods for that. So one, for how well we do our intervention. If we all stop shopping on Monday, we would not expect any of this data to change on Tuesday. We would expect to start seeing a footfall dropping over the first week. We would start to see new infections dropping over the next week, and we would start to see deaths dropping over the following week. So the implication there is, and the Prime Minister's letter is, we actually anticipate that our numbers will get worse over the next week, possibly 2, and then we are looking to see whether we have managed to push that curve down and we start to see a decline. The issue about the time frame is really important. So this is not to say we would be in complete lockdown for 6 months, but it means that as a nation we have to be really, really responsible and keep doing what we're all doing until we're sure that we can gradually start lifting various interventions, which are likely to be spaced based on the science and our data, until we gradually come back to a normal way of living. And that may mean that we have a few bumps on the way rather than the nice curves that you've seen in graphs in the media or on our charts. It's really important that we all do that together. We will not have succeeded until we get right to the end of this outbreak and we understand how the disease transmits. As we get more information in due course about the pattern of transmission, then we will have more insight into how to manage that tail end of it, and we can provide more information then.
Thanks, Jenny. Well, as I said earlier, the measures that we've taken, which are very restrictive and not things that we've taken lightly, the evidence that we've seen so far suggests a high degree of compliance from members of the public. The scenes that we saw last weekend have, by and large, not been replicated this weekend. Police forces have reported very few instances of non-essential retailers remaining open against the rules. And so, I think it's very encouraging that people are increasingly taking this seriously and playing their part in helping us to protect the NHS and save lives as a result. Police forces have powers. They are able to enforce these measures. They can fine individuals, and those fines can ratchet up for the very small number of people in society who repeatedly refuse to follow the measures and take the advice of the police. And that's absolutely right. But we want to do this by consent. We want to do this with us all coming together in a national effort. And there's a moral obligation on all of us to play our part, protect ourselves, but also protect others. And that's regardless of your age. And there are many young people who feel that they are invincible. That isn't correct. The virus affects all of us, but each of us has the ability to protect others. And so I really urge once again everybody to pay heed, to adhere to the strong medical advice that we've all received, to stay at home, and where you do go out, do it in the manner that we've advised. respecting social distancing advice, and when you can't work from home, try to work from home, but when you can't do so, then go to work, and at work, follow Public Health England's guidance whilst you're there as well, so that together we can protect the country and begin to turn the tide. Now, I'll come now to the last question, which is from Jack Blanchard from Politico. Jack, good afternoon.
Thank you very